Today, guys, we'll be talking about how money, affects friendship in adulthood. So you know that money has a way of, shaping relationships. And I think we've spoken about partnership, but this time around we're coming into friendship. So like, how has money shaped and, either brought you closer or separated you from your friends? Like, I'll just go straight to the question, Whitney. Or, yeah. Have you ever had any disagreements? Like, has money ever been an issue with you and your friend or a group of friends, anybody?
An issue? I won't say an issue. I'll just say it's been a deciding factor on friendship for me. According to Kayode, which is not wrong, I look like a money spender. I am a money spender. So money has always been a deciding factor for me. I can't entirely be with friends that are very big on money spending so that we all don't fool ourselves. So I have to have somebody or have that friend that I know, or when I look at or when I tell about certain ways I've spent my money, they have a way of cautioning me. And yeah, as much as I'm a disciplined person, I also like to have people that would put me in line. So I won't say it has been an issue. I'll just say it has been a deciding factor on picking my friends.
Okay. That's good, because I read somewhere that 8% of the millennials, they run into debt because of they go out with wealthy people. So being said that is a deciding factor, does it mean that you can't splurge with your friends, or if you have friends that are wealthy, and wants to take you for a certain kind of setting, do you say, oh, I don't want to splurge my money because of I have something I'm using it for, or do you just cut away that kind of friends because you can't keep up with the lifestyle?
Well, like they say, there are certain friends for certain reasons. So when I'm hanging out with friends that like to spend or like to overspend, that's why I mentioned discipline. You also have to be very disciplined. You can hang out with friends that love to spend, and because you know your own pocket, you know your own, whatever it is that is in your pocket, you have to be disciplined enough to draw the line, to have a boundary. So you can't just allow certain people or everybody influence you. So if I have friends like that, we won't necessarily be very close. They'll just be friends for, when I want to hang out, or when I feel like just getting that designer bag, okay, I can call on this person because, they will have the best advice and they will encourage me to spend and not necessarily save all my money, basically.
So, that brings me to, have you borrowed a friend, money before, and how was it at the end of the day? Did she pay you back, or were they back and forth and all of that?
Well, because I have responsible friends. Yeah. Ooh. So everybody I borrow money pays me back. I can't relate to the whole chasing someone for money or something.
Kayode, do you have any experience in that?
In lending out money and not getting it back?
Yeah.
Well, I think, first of all, let's even talk about, where you started from. How do you choose your friends? Does money influence what your friendship, your choice of friends? Yeah. One question that I'll have loved to ask before I come to answer yours is that when you meet a friend, do you consider do you find it easy getting into business transactions with your friends, or any transaction that influences money? How are your friends people that you easily will get into that kind of transaction with, or do you have friends for partying and friends for business?
That there has been any notice of irresponsibility with my friends. So I'll say all my friends I can get into business transactions.
But Tolu, should is it normal for one to separate, business transactions from friendship, or should it be something that it should work hand in hand?
I believe you should separate it because money can cause fights. I'm telling you, so you have to differentiate it. It depends on the kind of business or money we're talking about. It could be little money that your friend can just call you up and say, "Oh, hi, Kayode, please, can you just lend me 50K? I'll give you back." And you know the situation of the person. Sometimes you have to put it at the back of your mind that I might not get this money from a particular person, and then have the idea of gifting people too. Do you understand? Just have in the back of your mind that, okay, this particular person might not give me this money, but it's something that you can walk away with exactly when you're lending out money to people. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give your money back. Do you understand? When you borrow somebody money, you return the money if the person wants you to return it.
Yeah.
So that's my own opinion.
That's it. Okay. And when it comes to money influencing friendship, is it expected that you consider the financial status of someone before you get close to them? And from now, I'm going to ask you another question, but let's deal with this first. Is it normal to do that? And this goes to both of you and Whitney.
Sorry, I'm not sure I got your question.
That is it important to consider money in choosing friendship? That, okay, the financial status of someone before you get into that friendship? Because I ask that because some people feel like I don't want this guy to be a burden.
Yeah.
He doesn't have money. I don't want to move with him. He's not my class. He dragged me down. All those. Yeah. So is it important?
So yes, it is. It's important, but it shouldn't. Friendship is more than just money. Do you understand? From friendship, you get people that you can call your sister, family, and all of that. It shouldn't influence, but when inflation right now, I'm sorry, you have to consider sometimes, because you can't say you want to go on a girls trip and then you have to keep dragging someone along and all of that. Even though you are helping the person might feel like he or she is a burden to you. Do you get? So I think you should also help your friends too. If you have gigs that the person is doing something like that, you want your friend to be in the same level as you are. You help your friend. So you say, there's something, I think you do this, and I think someone in my office needs something. Link your friends up and all of that.
All right. Whitney?
Well, I would say it's important that you're friends with people in the same tax brackets with. But then at the same time, some people cannot just help their situation. So just because a person is not in the same tax bracket as you doesn't mean that person cannot be your friend. So I'm in the middle, honestly.
You're in between, you're on the fence on this.
Yeah. I feel like I won't judge you if you're not friends with people that are in your tax bracket. But then at the same time, I would side eye you.
Okay, you side eye that. You're not talking to this guy. But if you look at it, for example, one thing you notice is that a lot of wealthy people, they tend to grow together because they have friends they could rely on. Exactly. Is it important? And you see some people that want to do very simple projects of just 100,000, and they don't have that money. How is it important to have friends that are wealthy? Or if you're looking for, maybe you have your set of friends, then you have wealthy friends on another side, would you be termed as a groupie or an opportunist or something? Or is it just important that everybody, no matter who you are, you have some people that you can always reach out to say, okay, you know what, guy, I need this kind of amount.
I won't use the word important. I'll just say it's necessary. Yeah, I think it's necessary. Regardless of if you have it or not. but it's necessary. It's a good feeling to have somebody that, or people that you could reach out to. The whole opportunist, leech, and all of that, I feel like it will come from. It will come from people. It will come from the general public. That's how they will perceive you.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't even care about that. Everybody would want to have somebody that they could reach out to. So regardless of what people are going to say, you should have somebody that you can reach out to, because you really cannot do this life alone and you cannot have it all. So it's very important that you do. So you should have it at the back of your mind that people will talk. So you shouldn't care about that. Just you should put more importance on what you stand to gain and not what people have to say about it.
Tolu?
Yeah, she literally said it. I think it's necessary. At the same time, you have to let the group of wealthy friends you're like following know your intentions in the friendship. Even though they are wealthy, doesn't mean you can't impact them or they can't gain anything from you. Do you understand?
Sure.
So you too, you have to hold on something. Like you have a role that you're playing in the friendship, because those wealthy people I tell you, sis, they will turn on you.
Yes, they will.
They will turn on you. So like
true.
You should have something that when they turn on you, be like, oh yeah, I'm the one that also did this for you and did that
You should
for
bring
you.
value.
Yeah, value. That's the word. You should bring value to the table. Even though you're not bringing in money, you should bring value to the table.
Okay.
I agree with that.
And when you look at friendship, and you've been talking about the role of money in friendship and blah, blah, blah. But really, what is friendship? Well, if you're considering money and all that, what really is friendship?
For me,
Friendship is everything, I think. I think it's just, friendship is having that
person,
that support, that that love, aside family love. It's just having that go-to person, basically. I can't even describe it. I just feel like friendship is everything. It's very important that people have friends. It is very important that people have friends.
All right.
And it's very important to set boundaries, because in as much as all of this, you need to know when to splurge and when to save. Not because your friends have something planned up and you want to be among and feel among your house rents that you've stocked up. Like every day you wake up in the morning, oh God, I've reached 250. Let's go. You will not go and spend it because
they're trying to fit in.
Exactly. So you should know when to be financially smart. In what you do.
Always apply the 50-30-20 rule.
And what's that rule? For those of us that don't know.
I don't know either.
You're not financially literate.
It's like a budget rule. Okay. So whenever you get your income or you get your salary, you should remove 50% of that salary for spendings.
Okay.
30% of the salary for investments and 20% for savings.
For savings, and you still do that under this economy?
I don't know. I gave the advice to those that have the money.
Yes, 50 for spending, 30 for investment, and 20 for savings. And that works a lot more when you're not married. It's easier that time for you to cultivate that habit so that you could go in and but let's come back to you, Tulu. You were going to ask some questions earlier on.
Okay, so like, what would you say for like? Okay, I have a scenario whereby a brother, this is even family. I'm like shocked. Talk more of friends. Like later made it in life and then disassociated himself from his own sister. If we relate that to friendship, how do you handle such situation?
Disassociate myself to.
Yeah, from your family member.
Yeah, like I'm saying that I'll do the same thing. Like if you feel the need to remove yourself, if I reach out to you, if I notice it and then I try to like set things straight and I see that you're not willing or it's just a thing of personal choice, I will just move on with my own life.
But I mean, while that is true, now let's look at this, for example. You know, at times we talk about people making it, especially when you get political positions and you avoid everybody. But do we consider the fact that maybe immediately you make money and people see you made money, there's so much pressure on you?
That's very
from
true.
family, from friends,
from
people you don't speak to suddenly start saying, "Oh, he doesn't even pick my call. We have not spoken in 10 years, and now you're calling me every day. I'm not even used to you." And so, how would you advise such a person manages that process?
Set boundaries.
How would you set
Protect
boundaries without
yourself.
being told you are proud? And I'll give you an example. A caller on one of our shows at 6 a.m. He called from, was it the UK? And he said he needed our help, that he's in the UK, he's trying to settle, and he's working so hard. He's even increased the number of hours he spends working, but his family almost every day call for one thing or the other. And it's somebody that doesn't know how to say no. But now it's affecting his family over there because he spends so much back home in Nigeria. And at times they're asking for things in the UK and he goes, "I don't have the money, give me some time." And so how does it handle such a thing? In such an instance, money is about to destroy family relationship and friendship you've had for years before you even got married. He has to stop it. But if he stops it, the people back home in Nigeria will say, "You don't even care. Now because you are there, don't forget, God will do my own too. God will do my own, I will also get it." So how does he handle such a situation?
Yeah, like I said, I see this scenario play out all the time. Set clear boundaries. Trust me, you have to always protect yourself. People are going to say anything and everything. The thing is, if the way he's spending on his family, if a situation comes where he gets back and he has no savings, he has no investments, nothing, it's that same family that will forget that he was spending a lot on them. And then they'll say, "Oh, look at you. You just wasted your time. You didn't invest in anything." They would even compare him to the closest neighbor. So you need to set boundaries. You need to know what you also want for yourself. And you need to learn to say no. Trust me, they are family. But if your family cannot understand you, understand where you're coming from, then they don't deserve to be your family. You can't change that, but then they really do not deserve to be your family. You should set boundaries. You should make them understand that, "Oh, I have it now is what I'm giving you. If I don't have it, I do not have it. And I have other things to also attend to." So set boundaries. Always set boundaries. With family, with friends, with anybody, set boundaries.
All right. Set boundaries, Tulu?
Actually, set boundaries. Because if you don't set boundaries, like I said, you just keep going in circles, trying to please people. You're trying to please your family. You're trying to please your friends. You're the one suffering it. Do you understand? So when you set boundaries, you let them know that, okay, it's just once a month. I can send you this amount of money. You have to hold on. If something happens, and then I can send you extra money and all of that. So you have to set clear boundaries, basically.
And what about in friendship, where you have maybe you all started together, some friends have now risen, they're getting better, the others are still struggling. Is it the responsibility of those friends to look out for the ones that are not so financially stable, maybe help them set up or anything? Do they have that responsibility? And should the friends that are still struggling financially, should they get angry that their friends are not helping if they're not?
Of course you have the responsibility. It's your friend. You sort of owe it to your friend. I know people like to say nobody owes you anything, but there are certain relationships, in fact, any kind of relationship, you owe whatever to the other person. Now, about the friends not being, the friends that are dependent, being angry or something, I won't say angry. They have every right to be hurt. It's your friend. You can't be hurt. It's an emotion. You would feel it. You're a human being. But you shouldn't be entitled. So that you're hurt doesn't mean you should now feel entitled to their money or to how they take care of you. You're also a human being. You have legs. Go work too. You have hands. So you shouldn't be entitled, but you have every right to be hurt because, you're a human being.
I feel it's not all friends that you should give out all those help to.
Definitely.
There are certain friends that you know that after this path that I'm in, there's nothing forward with us. Do you understand? But if a situation whereby you need to help comes in, that doesn't mean you shouldn't help. But like being entitled, like you said, you can't just be entitled. I have friends whereby they didn't have, do you understand? They don't have, like, they didn't work, they're not working, they don't have any skill. You can advise. Your advice is like money, is time, do you understand? You tell them, oh, this is how I started, this is how I got here. I started by learning attending one like online course, like doing an online course. I did that. I got a certificate. I started by putting myself out there on LinkedIn. You know, you can give them the baby steps to how they can start picking up, you know, not just every time handling them money and then having to fight or be angry at them low key. Do you understand? So I think helping them, if you're a smart friend, then you listen to the person's advice and then pick up from there. And then we'll all be rich together.
So, but the bottom line, what both of you are saying is that as a friend, you have some kind of responsibility to look out for your friends.
Yeah.
Either you give money, you give advice, or you give advice, or even you try to show the person the way, you know, how to go about it. Okay, you do this, do that. I see your strength and all that. So friendship is not all about partying on Friday nights.
No, and ordering food and clothes.
And talking about the latest hair, the latest shoe.
Yep.
Talk about how to move forward in either your business or your career path.
Okay. So it's friendship is all about development. You know,
it's about growth.
And you're saying now that money plays a role in friendship. You need to look out for each other to make sure that you grow. So if you're in a relationship or a friendship where all you do is drink and say, oh, mom, see that babe. So any friendship that is not bringing development, you need to flee.
Yes.
Your yes wasn't convincing.
Well, for me, yes. In my own opinion, yes.
Any friendship that is not bringing development, you should just run away.
Yeah, because what's the point?
So I remember I gave someone, there was a footballer that was about to travel abroad, and I told him, I said, when you travel abroad, just make sure that for the next 1 year, family will call you, friends will call you, honestly, block everybody out. Exactly. All the money you make from your signing, save it, get a house, sort yourself out, because you started a career late. Yeah. Sort yourself out. Because at the end of the day, if you go there and you're thinking, oh, it's my family, I need to take care of them, I'm here because of them. It is true. But the truth is, all this while I didn't have money to give, they didn't die. They can afford to wait for 1 year before you start investing. Because if you come back home and your career is not, it's success, maybe you pick up an injury, because I said it was getting older. Yeah. If you pick up an injury and you're unable to continue, you'll come back to where you are. But at least if you go there, within that year, all the money you make, you buy houses. When you come back, if you don't have anything to give to them, you can give them a house they can stay in.
Of course. So
it's just important that look for friendship, and if you're spending, be careful. And don't spend all your money.
And don't abandon your family.
And don't abandon your family. Exactly. Don't. It's just to get yourself together, then focus on
create an understanding.
That's it. Join the Nairametrics team Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. In the evenings on X for X Spaces. Make sure you don't change that dial. I know a lot of us.
On Spotify and on YouTube, guys.